you hear me now? I think now it should be working. Let's see. All right, great. Can you hear the fire? Can you hear the fire on the background as well? Can you confirm that, please? But I okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, yeah, so sorry about that. I was as I was trying to explain muted for you guys. As you can notice, I'm on a new place, which is it's another room. As I explained last week, I'm in the middle, or well, beginning a big renovation at my place. So that means that I will be living in this room for for a month more or less. So that's gonna be interesting. So yeah, I have, if you could look around here, is everything filled with furnitures, piles of boxes, beds, everything. So we have piled everything in this room and on the cellar. So yeah, so I was trying to put everything like a few hours before, setting all the the computer and everything, and yeah, and apparently with some technical issues, but yeah, now it's good. So yes, thank you, Pontus. Hello, how are you doing, man? Thanks for joining. MC Entrenador, bienvenido. Creo que es la primera vez que te veo en el chat. Bienvenido al stream. Un placer. Richard, hello. Welcome back. Very glad to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Kukosom, same thing. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So everything is working as it should be. Fantastic. How are you doing, guys? Did you had a good week so far? Good weekend? I hope that's been the case. For me, it's been very busy with work and preparing everything for this huge renovation. Yeah, I mean, we are making lots of things on the apartment everywhere except this room. So I've been very, very busy putting all of that together, messing with all the companies that are gonna construction stuff, and yeah. And then with work, been busy doing some client work for Games Workshop. Ooh, what would that be? And also continuing with my things with Dark Tide. So yeah, very, very busy. Now I have my assistant, and I think he's gonna be a common, how do you say, well, he will be joining us for quite some streams, I figure out, until I get back my office back. So he is my technical support guy. He's here all the time on the behind the screens and cameras, or camera, just to make sure that everything is working smooth and properly. I'm gonna show you. There it is. Technician Bilbo. Yeah, so as you can see, he's very much focused on work and on making everything go fine and smooth. So yes. Pontus, very busy. So you are moving very soon, right? You must be, yeah, quite crazy as well. I don't know. Let's see. The screen is touching the microphone. So hopefully, let me adjust the microphone a little bit more. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. So not yet, but I'm guessing that you are making preparations already. Okay. Well, so as you can see, I managed to do a very, very tiny thing from last stream, and that is to start to applying a basic color layer, and started to work on the character as well, and that's where I am. I also decided that the overall framing is not exactly what I wanted. So before I had it like this, more squarish, but I thought I would like to increase, or at least I'm gonna see how it looks, just making it a little bit more more height, because of the composition, and to enhance a little bit more the size of this gate. And let's see what happens. Krum Krum, hello, welcome to the stream. Hope that you are doing fine. So yeah, I'm gonna continue with that. So I'm gonna go and see how it works with this new framing and composition, and yeah, we can take it from there. What is there a reason? Oh, there you go. Okay, wait a second. I also need to record these. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, let's let's see how these affect the general composition. But I think it will make it a little bit more interesting, and underline a little bit more the idea that we were discussing about making this gate more menacing, and the monster that is supposed to hide under the shadow. Oh, and I have some news as well that I wanted to share with you guys, because this is big news. Let me show you. So we've we've been talking for a very, very long time that we should be having some Discord channel to share what we are doing, inspiration, all type of things that could work to make our community a little bit more tight and more enjoyable. So Here we have. Oh. Ta-chan. There we go. So we have a new Discord channel. I will. So it's called the Space Pirate Crew. I still don't know how I will do with invitations. I'm very new to Discord. I normally don't use it, so I still need to figure these things out. But I have kind of laid it down a little bit more basic stuff, different channels, and yeah, hopefully we can start to use it this week, or yeah. So there you go. And yes, Space Pirates. Why would that be? Because yes, many things are coming, and it's Space Pirates related. Cantabrian, hello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Nice, yes. Yeah, let's see how it works. But yeah, like I said, I have no idea how to make public the server. Maybe on the description of the videos or something, so anybody can join. Also, since I'm planning to put together a Patreon at some point, I want to tie that with the Discord channel as well. So I still need to figure out how to make everything work. But yeah, for now, at least with the basic functionality that we were discussing many times, should work and would make things a little bit more fun and enjoyable. So, Happy Bear, I don't know what you are saying, but welcome to the stream. Happy Bear. Yeah. How do you say? Yeah. Damn. I forgot how to say it. Ja ni panimayu paruski. I don't know if I don't know if I said it correctly or not. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Gavarim is that talk, but panimayu is understand. Right? Thank you, Happy Bear. You are very kind. Richard, I have to say that you are a box of surprises. You are a very knowledgeable, well, you know a lot of things. Knowledgeable. No, yeah, that's the word that I was looking for. Gavarit. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yes, yes, I remember. Mm. Well, Richard, I mean, there are plenty of old farts that still don't know anything. So age doesn't equate to knowledge. Experience, perhaps, but not knowledge necessarily. How old are you, if I might ask? Let's see. Happy Bear. Well, we are painting mostly, yes, but mm, we could uh, we could take the opportunity to learn some languages for sure. In this case, Russian. Yeah, I think this make it better. It make it more imposing. By the way, I just remembered because this illustration actually remind me to one chapter of this book that I'm gonna mention now. So it just I started to listen to the audiobook of the second book of Elizabeth Beckwith of Dan Abnett. Oh my goodness, how good this series is been so far. If you enjoyed all the Eisenhorn and Ravener novels and short stories, this is a great follow up series. So good. And yeah, without spoilers, but there is a scene where it's like in catacombs and there is like a huge gate and kind of remind me to it. You are 40 plus, still feeling like 17. Well, man, that's fantastic. That is the best possible way. Okay. I mean, age is it's here, right? I mean, you can be 80 years old and still feel young and feel of curiosity and hunger for learning new things and then on the other hand you get like 20-year-old um, people and they are like behaving like old farts really so Pontus, all right, you are reading the second Ravener, fantastic, yeah. So I haven't explained more related to the um, uh, to the colors, but I think I mentioned something last stream that I wanted to play with some very basic color scheme. So I wanted to go with this reddish light, yeah, to make it a little bit more hellish in some way. It's supposed to be in some underground catacombs or dungeons or something like that. So I thought using these complementary color scheme with green and red would be a very nice usage of colors as using that contrast. And yeah, maybe I mean, at least as a foundation, I might add a little bit more of other colors here and there. But this is, like I said, I want to work with this general foundation and see how it happened, how it was. Happy Bear, how do you feel about Warhammer Fantasy? Well, how do I feel about it? Well, I think I liked it quite a lot. I have many good memories from childhood from it. I never got the chance to play it properly because I never got any miniatures. I mean, like to make an army or anything. So I was always dreaming with my friends, like, oh yeah, I would like to have this army and this and that. Um, but I really liked it. Then I discovered Warhammer 40k, and then I kind of forgot about fantasy to some degree. It kind of captured more my imagination, but I think it's, to me, it's one of these things that I still don't understand, even from a just corporative mindset. Why the hell did they decided to kill that IP? I really don't understand. Just for Age of Sigmar, I mean, what the hell? I mean, yeah, I don't get it. So I was completely flabbergasted. I'm still I am about that. So yeah, I mean, of course, it raises the question, at least to me, it's always been there. It's like, in terms of if I had to compare it with Warhammer 40k, it always felt a little bit more simplistic and silly. When on the other hand, Warhammer 40k still, I think, still have certain base or foundation that is more better constructed as a fiction universe that can make sense, even though it is so crazy and over the top. But still, I think there is some cohesion, right? In the Warhammer fantasy, everything was just like, there is not that cohesion. There is a lot of contradictions. There is a lot of things that, I mean, it's more free spirit just for the sake of it, and yeah, I have no problem with that. But yeah. Yukosom, you are 21, feeling like 70, but act like 13. Wow. That yeah, I'm speechless. Why can I say? But I mean, going back to this thing about age, the most important thing is to remain young in the head. I think that's the most important thing. Of course, physically as well, but of course, there is nothing you can do about aging. Aside from staying healthy, making sports and stuff like that. But Patrick, hi, welcome to the stream. Ooh, who is that? I have it so small here. I cannot read it, my goodness. Spasevilla. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Let's see if I can do this a little bit bigger for myself. Robin Roth Art, welcome. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Cantabrian. That red light bleeding through at the bottom of the arc is really nice. The green tint work in contrast. My color wheel likes this. All right. Happy to hear. I mean, still is like very basic, so I will. I'm trying to see how construct the whole thing. I want to use like this greenish hue as kind of phantasmagoric atmosphere on the dungeon, but then is contrasted by this reddish, hellish light. In some way, I was when thinking about this. I had in mind this old film, a film that I really, I mean, has a very special spot in my heart. I mean, because I have such good memories from childhood. Legend. I don't know if you have seen it, especially some of you youngest viewers. I think it's from 80 something. It's a fantasy from James Cameron with a very very young Tom Cruise, where the bad guy is a demon king, and there are some scenes where there is like a little bit, maybe it's not red, but kind of the mental image that I have at the moment, kind of a little bit like that, with a very in his dark palace. Everything is completely dark, and it is like these very sharp lights. Who in the stream hasn't seen Legend? Who hasn't seen it? Yeah, sorry, Robin. Robin. Yeah, it's my bad. It's not James Cameron, but Ridley Scott. Yes, you are totally right. Mr. Wong, hello. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Um, have I ever done anything related to The Witcher? No, I have not. Even though I like a lot that universe, but no, I have not. Lucius, you haven't seen Legend. Well, if you like fantasy, um, uh, I totally recommend it. I think it's a fantastic film. And even though it is old, I don't think it has aged uh, bad. I think it's quite solid still. It's more like a fairy tale more than anything. Um, but the art direction is mind blowing, and of course it's in the 80s, so there's no CGI. Everything is it's built and made. The costumes and the creatures is awesome. The goblins and the ogres, they are so yeah. I remember seeing it as a kid. There is one scene where they enter like the lair of the dark king. I can't remember what's his name, and uh, they get to the kitchens, and the kitchens are run by an ogre or several ogres that they are just slaughtering people just to prepare for the food. And oh, it's the look, everything, the art direction is amazing. So I totally recommend uh, um, watching it if you haven't yet. And of course, if you like fantasy, but of course it's more like a fairy tale. So it's, I mean, you have to take it like that. Cantabrian, you haven't either. All right, so there you have a little bit of homework for for the weekend. Richard, Legend was great movie, more like a fairy tale. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it reminds me cartoon The Last Unicorn a bit. Yeah, I I I am not sure if I have seen that cartoon, but yeah, I mean, without any spoilers, but is the story is very basic, but it turns around of course a princess that is captured and a unicorn, or it is supposed to be the last unicorn, and it will be, and the dark prince, this demon king or prince wants to kill this last unicorn in order to get to govern to the world or something like that. I can't remember. Lucius, yeah, definitely watch it. It's very, I mean, from a visual point of view, I mean, the art direction, creature designs, costume design is mind blowing. It's so good. And for example, the let's see if I can to an image of the bad guy just to give you. So this is the bad guy. and he's huge. He's like I don't know. He's a giant. I have found another a um, better photo. And that's the thing. He's a real actor, and he's a real costume. He's not CGI. And is well, it's awesome. It's fantastic. Um, but again, more. It's a simple story. It's not too complicated or anything. It's very basic in that sense. Yeah, I mean, like Richard was saying, as a fairy tale. Robin, yeah, the scene when the goblins are looking for the princess in the old house, it creep you out. Yes, I mean, that's the thing. The creature designs, the goblins, they look so. I mean, it's like this. This is one of the things that I like so much. Oh, I think my the technical guy, support guy, is having a seizure. I don't know if you can see him. He's working very hard to make the stream run smoothly, as you can see. Uh, so yeah, it has this thin line between being made towards a more young audience, right, for children. So it has this thin line between creepy and scary, but of course in a light way, because it has a little bit of humor as well. But it's kind of dark overall. It is one of those things that nowadays I feel very difficult to see in films for kids, where darkness and scariness, it's almost gone. So yeah, that film kind of inspired me to this kind of light setting and color scheme. But yeah, I mean, and Robin, you said that it creeped you out when you were a kid. I mean, to me, the part that scared me, as I was describing before, is the part where they get into the kitchens, and there's this ogre going around just preparing the meal for. With then you see the legs and arms of people hanging, and yeah, it's yeah, that was scary. And also the witch that is on the now I remember, there was a witch on the how is it called in English, what's the name, the pond is not a pond, it's the just comes in Spanish to my mind, and swamps. Yeah, thank you, Robin. Seriously, I'm normally a very slow talker, just by default. But I swear to you guys, I'm not this slow normally. It's just always during the streams, I'm already kind of tired. I have to switch to English. Um, that I'm normally not speaking. And yes, that's my excuse. Richard, Miguel, are you still thinking about that round shield for the barbarian? Yes, I'm still thinking of it. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, Bilbo is having very intense dreams. Yeah, still, I haven't decided yet. Akash, hi, welcome to the stream. Thanks a lot. That's very kind to say. Thank you. It's still very rough and sketchy, but at least it's I think a solid foundation so far. It's flip, by the way. The whole thing, just to make sure that there is nothing weird going on. I think I have mentioned it before on the stream, and if not, then well, there you go. And it's how important it is to flip your image or character or anything that you are doing as often as possible and as soon as possible as well. Because if you don't do it soon and not often, you are gonna be for a world of pain. Because it is so easy to see mistakes and yeah. I mean, it's kind of like you do in traditional art by looking at your drawing or anything through a mirror, right? So because it's very easy to spot mistakes. That, you know, like things get how do you say in English? Because of our vision, we tend to see things a little bit skewed, not leveled perfectly. So you need to see the reflection in order to correct that that visual defect. You know that if you have a face in front, like looking from the front, you will do one eye like this and the other one slightly down instead of leveled. Richard, perhaps Bilbo is dreaming about his precious? Yes, totally. And you know what is his precious? A pig ear. He loves pig ears. Yeah. But yeah, so Richard, to your question, I think having a shield from a narrative point of view is gonna help quite a lot. The image to read properly and to give a more context to the scene and the character. I think so. Yes. Mm-mm. And I think he's a little bit too slim for. So I think he should be a little bit more buffed, more bigger muscles. Even though this is more realistic, um, but I mean, since we are going for this um, prototype of Conan looking, even though they are a little bit more uh, leaner versions of Conan as well. Some could argue. But just slightly, not too much more. But Seb, hey, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Lovely to see tackling the barbarian again. Yes, yes. Yeah, he's been abandoned for a very long time. So yeah, I thought it would be a good idea just to bring him back and doing it in a way that could kind of in lore explain why he's been out of the picture. So that he's been trapped in a maze or dungeon for a very very long time and barely escaped. Yeah, exactly, Zeb. Um, I mean, I was imagining that this is kind of the very this scene represent the very last stage of his quest, where he managed to defeat the evil lord of the dungeon or something like that, and after that he's freed or managed to escape, but barely. So we need to show him very very much um, injured and tired. Do you guys, by the way, do you guys like horror films? Is it a genre that you like? Because I really like them. I mean the genre, but I struggle quite a lot enjoying horror films because normally I think they are pretty bad with some jewels that I absolutely love. So it's a difficult genre for me because I really like the genre, but normally I think most of the films are very silly and yeah, I don't know. They fail to mm, to make me like them. I could say so. Of course, it's very personal take, But the other day I saw one that it's still on Netflix, and I loved it. And it's nothing too special or like the best film I have ever seen, but still it clicked all the things that I like in a scary film. It's called in English, the title is called Terrified. In case you like horror films, I recommend this film. The thing is that it's a Argentinian film, so it is in Spanish. Of course, on Netflix, I don't know if it's dubbed in English or at least you have subtitles. But fantastic. I really liked it. Terrified. Let's see if I can put it here. I hope that I'm not making any misspell. Terrified. Fantastic. And I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but one of the things that of course this is I'm generalizing, and sometimes there are films that do it in an opposite way of what I'm gonna say, and I still like them. But in general, I believe one of the main elements of horror is the unknown. It's facing something that you cannot comprehend, that you don't understand. Is the fear to the unknown. And normally most of horror films, they make the error of trying to explain the mechanic or the logic behind the supernatural that occurs on the story. Is I don't know, it's a ghost that is terrifying the people in this haunted house because this happened to her, and if you solve the problem of this ghost, then the course is gonna go away. So you are already applying logic, and therefore it makes everything kind of so if I do this and that, then it's gonna go away. And that to me kind of destroyed the whole nature of horror. You are supposed to not understand what is going on. I mean, you can understand perhaps certain irrational, one could say, or supernatural logic, right? Like, you know that at this time this event happened, and there are certain rules that all these supernatural things are happening, but outside of those rules it doesn't make any sense, or there is no way for you to really understand why these things happen. They just happen, and you might understand those rules but not why they happen. And this film, Terrified, I think it goes very much deep into that in a very nice way. Seb, no, I have not worked on a horror movie. But I think it would be nice. Uh, yeah, Seb, I totally recommend it. It's, I mean, and I understand some people dislike that quite a lot. They want to have a very structured logic behind everything that happens and why it happens, and there is a solution to it. But I personally dislike that quite a lot. I mean, supernatural is something, or I mean, whatever the origin of is, it's something that you shouldn't understand or comprehend because it makes it more scary. I don't know. Let's say one of the reasons why I'm such a big fan of Lovecraft and his stories is because he never gets, I mean, in depth into explaining why things are the way they are. They just are, and everything goes around precisely of as soon as somebody tried to study and and understand the the reality of the cosmos and with all those horrors, they become mad because they cannot, it's too weird and big to understand. It's not made for a human mind to understand, and makes everything more scary for because of that reason. So yeah, so this film Terrified kind of goes into that. Zeb, indeed, it makes everything more terrifying if you kind of think about it. How cool to know that. Is that your thought behind this comp? Well, actually, I haven't. I'm not building this image as a horror thing, but yes, definitely this idea of, I think that is always going to be more threatening, something that you cannot see perfectly, than if I just decide to make a guy here perfectly visible and that you can see with all details. If it's just behind some shadow and this, you can kind of see suggested the silhouette and kind of make a little bit, I think that's more threatening or scary. Maybe not, or this scary is the word for this image, but at least more threatening and imposing. I mean, that's kind of. I mean, if you think like good horror films, they never show you in big detail the monster, right? They always show you the monster like very fast or like a portion of the monster because it's again one of these tenets of horror is you don't show things you because you are, once you see the monster you are not that scared anymore. So it's again it's this recurrent thing. So this thing that I'm talking about is going a little bit more beyond just the purely visual, but just about the logic behind everything. That you don't get to understand why things are. Um, and that also the characters they try to understand, they try to build certain logic and rationale behind everything, but they fail to do because yeah, it's beyond them. It's too weird. Zeb, oh, you will playing the Call of Cthulhu roleplay. Awesome. Yeah, I have played uh, quite a lot back in the day. But yes, nice. Sonic. Why is that? What? Um, can you elaborate more? Your question. What are you referring to? But yeah, and with Lovecraft, like I was saying, I think in my opinion is exactly the same thing. Why you never really get to in his descriptions really to grasp how the creatures are. I mean, yeah, he makes certain descriptions, sometimes very vague, sometimes they are very detailed, but in such a way that it make it very difficult to have a mental image of what they are. So it's made in purpose. And I think, for instance, that is why horror in literature has more. It's more scary than a film because you don't get to see directly anything. It's more your imagination. Um, so once again, it's your mind fill all those gaps, and your mind is always gonna find those things that are the scariest for you. So it's like self-made, custom-made. Uh, Sony. So the kid in Halloween movie was Michael Myers. Well, I have no idea. I don't know. Richard, if you don't know, check out the horror movie Coherence. There is no killing monster, just a phenomenon which makes people mad. It's almost like it was from SCP Universe. Good movie, highly recommended. Is that one where people just commit suicide? Zeb, totally agree. It's like an ominous feeling of what's to happen, but you just can't seem to touch it. Yes, yes, totally. I mean, that's, for example, another very recurrent method in horror films is to narrow the field of view of the audience by many different means. I mean, there are many ways you can do that because I mean, you don't see what the characters are looking at. So once again, it's infuse your imagination just to fill those gaps and to make something more scary. Uh, and barely showing you the monsters. I mean, it's very powerful stuff. Seb, if I have read Lovecraft books, yes, yes, I have many books of his. I'm a huge fan of his work. It is like Happening by Night Shyamalan. Yeah, okay, that's the thing that I was the film that I was referring. I don't know if it's this one Sonic that you are referring, The Happening, or but yeah, the one that I was referring is one where people are starting to suicide, and they don't know why. Um, but Richard, I will definitely check it up. The Coherence. By the way, now that you mentioned again SCP universe, I think I. Ah, damn! What was its? What was the title? There is. I stumble upon completely by chance on Netflix some like a month ago or something, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it on stream. Um, um, a film that is about a couple that are looking for a place to move, and they go to a how is it called? What's the name in English? A house agency. I don't know. I don't know what's the real estate agency to look for houses, and he's like a very weird guy, and he managed to convince them to show them a new build neighborhood. I think it's an Australian film. Oh my goodness, so good. And it's totally SCP Foundation inspired. Totally. I cannot remember what's the title of the film. But yeah, the agent guy of this real estate agency, super weird, awkward guy. And yeah, Richard, since you enjoyed all this about ACP, I if you have Netflix, I'm sorry I cannot. I will try to find out the title, and next stream I will tell you the title. But yeah, fantastic, and totally by accident. I love those kind of discoveries. But now, as soon as you guys can join the Discord server, we can begin sharing all these things. It's gonna be fun. Is there some? Richard, no suicides in this movie. The incoherence, the phenomenon makes more realities where people meet their own selves. Interesting. Nice. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna see it for sure. Sonic, watch. You should watch Parasite. I think I have watched it. And kind of recently. What is it about? Of course, a parasite. But can you refresh my memory? Because I think I have seen it. Sonic, and what is my favorite horror movie trope? I think to me, once again, is this thing of the something very odd that might have certain structure in how things are. So there are certain rules, and but they don't make sense. But they always happen on the same way. I don't know, like, have you seen It Follows? Also, I think a fantastic horror film. It follows, you know, there are certain rules and they always happen in the same way, but you never get to understand, if I remember correctly, it's never explained why the things happen in the way they do. But you know that it is established. There's certain rules. Things happen in this way. If you do this and that, or you go to this place at this time, or you know whatever those rules are, things are happening. But they don't make sense. Luis, hey man, welcome back. How are you doing? Always a pleasure to have you here, Luis. Thank you. You're very kind, Luis. Sonic, yes. Rosemary Baby, and Silence of the Lambs, yes, yes, of course. Those are classics. Yeah. Uh, Rosemary Baby, I think is Roman Polanski film, right? I saw it like, yeah, ages ago. But yeah, that one is pretty good. Seb, do you think that is what made the first Predator movie so good? The not knowing? Yes, exactly. Exactly. I think they only show it at the very end. Uh, and you could argue that they've, I mean, in the sense that we are discussing that, since at the end they show the monster, the alien or the predator, um, in full view and in detail, that they are kind of failing to this rule. But the thing is, they never show him until the very 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 end. And also the design of the predator is super fresh for the time it was made, right? I remember the first time when I saw the face of the predator when it removes the mask, and it's like, what the hell? Of course now, yeah, I mean, we have been um bombarded with so many type of designs and stuff, so it has lost that visual impact that it had when that film came. But yeah, nevertheless, yes, I think it did it properly, because it didn't show the monster until the very 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 end. A little bit same as Alien, right? If you think about it, they only they never show the alien totally until the very end, and never in full body length, right? It's always just a part, or the face, but then you never see the alien in its totality. Lucius, yes, yeah. If you get the time, Requiem Infernal is a really good Warhammer horror novel. Lots of cosmic horror, completely different from other 40k books. Yes, I have heard of it, and I love the within the horror genre, the subcategory of cosmic horror. I love it, of course. Being a big fan of Lovecraft, but yeah, I love it. So I'm aware of it. Thanks for the suggestion. I'm gonna give it a try at some point for sure. Akash, people living inside other people's house. Um, what do you mean? Like, you mean spirits or like actual people? Sonic, you didn't like It Follows? I mean, I think um, it's definitely not the best horror film that I have seen, but it has many good things. I don't know. I appreciate it. I could say, at least for trying something a little bit different. Um, but yeah, fair enough. If you didn't like it, it's Sanhai. I sorry for butchering names. Always very difficult to pronounce them properly. I'm very sorry about that. But thank you, very kind. Sonic, yeah, right. So you definitely disliked it. I can share um, my my experience with it and why I enjoyed it, and exact was the fact that it was very original. Uh, of the concept itself is like something is following you and there is no way to escape from it. Uh, so yeah, I really like the premise of the film. I don't remember many details now. I remember that there were some few things that kind of made me like, yeah, this is perhaps some things didn't worked, but overall, I enjoyed it personally, and for being original in that sense. Sonic, yeah, Annihilation, yes, I liked it quite a lot. Yes, and that's one of those exactly. I enjoyed that film quite a lot because it doesn't explain why. It shows you, I mean, because it makes it more mysterious and more scary. I mean, yes, they give you some glimpses of what it might be, but you never really get to understand. They don't guide you by the hand explaining and chewing all the concepts and idea. You really need to try to come up with a explanation yourself. And it's kind of vitamins for your creative mind, right? Just to when they don't show you everything and explain everything. I mean, to me, I mean, this is not just from horror, but to me, it's one of these any type of story. If you have this component of journey or travel to the unknown, to me is like narrative crack. I'm immediately hooked to the story. I love it. Of course, it needs to be done properly, but I mean this idea of going into the unknown, it's I like it quite a lot. For example, one of the reasons why the this the oh my goodness, what's the title? The Mountains of Madness of Lovecraft. That's why I like it a lot, because it's an expedition to the Antarctica, right? It's a journey. It's a and to the unknown, and it's like this big mystery and discovering a new thing. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Akash, okay, you were talking about the movie Parasite. My goodness, I think I have seen it, but I cannot remember. It's about people that lives inside other people's house. The Parasites. It's this is so annoying. It rings a bell a lot, but it's I cannot remember anything. I'm gonna need some help from you. What is the synopsis if of it? Hey Bilbo. Hey. He's been working very hard. He's taking a break now. Let's see. It won Best Picture in last year Oscars against the Joker. Uh, are you talking about the Parasite or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? You are confusing me, Sonic. You are confusing an already confused mind. Zeb, yes, I'm still teaching at CGMA. Yes. Now it's pause for spring term, which will start the 19th of this month. So actually, in 1 week more or less. I'm really looking forward to get started and meet the new students. It's always such a pleasure meeting everybody, all the students, you guys. It's Yeah, it's the best part of teaching. I Yeah, I really have a blast with it. And let's put a little bit more of dark tones um, here on the background. Sonic. All right, now I understand. Parasite won against those films. Okay, now I get it. So yeah, like as I said, I have a very confused mind at this time of the evening. Okay, the Parasite. But what is it about? I'm just because I feel that I have seen it, but I cannot remember anything, which is very weird because I have a almost photographic memory for when it comes to films. Akash, all right. So 3 or 4 Oscars. Wow. Zeb. All right. Okay. Nice. Uh, well, I will be delighted to have you on the class. Sonic. Uh, yeah, I totally appreciate that you don't want to spoil it. But can you just say like a very unspoiled description or how it begins or something? What is the premise? Just to give me a glimpse if I have seen it or not, because it feels like Mr. Alzheimer has visited me recently because I cannot remember anything. It's like uh, Zep. Well, like I said, it would be fantastic to have you. And I think, of course, if you the higher technical level you have, Um, easier is gonna be for you because you will focus everything more into the um, the focus of the course, which is narrative, and not struggling with technical things. But at the same time, you don't need to have a high level in order to take the class, since it's not about a technique. Art technique, but about applying narratives to your art. So yeah, it's not a must, but it's definitely you can get more out of it. You don't have to struggle with the technical side of painting your assignments, for sure. Ah, all right, Sonic. Yeah, now I know. Okay, I haven't seen it. I haven't. I have not seen it, but I know which one it is. Okay. Yes. Well, now I'm relieved because I was really thinking that Mr. Alzheimer visit me because for some reason I thought it ringed a bell that I might have seen it, but I couldn't remember. But okay, now I know I haven't seen it. Okay, okay, good. Another, I mean, this is not a horror film per se. It's a thriller, but one that I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And I think it's in Netflix as well. The Invitation. I don't know if you have seen it, but fantastic psychological thriller. Brilliant, brilliant. It's about a couple that is invited to the ex-wife of the guy on the couple to a dinner at her place and with other friends, and things are strange. And I'm gonna leave it there for not spoilers. But things are a little bit strange. It's fantastic. uh beep, beep, beep. Do you guys have a favorite horror film? One that really made an impact on you at some point when you saw it? And also, talking about horror genre, I don't know if you have tried it, but to me, of course, I have read plenty of horror books, films. There is nothing that get closer to really shit in my pants as playing good horror games, video games. there's nothing scarier than playing a good horror game. I mean, there is there is nothing compared to it. Zeb, the island of Dr. Moreau. All right. Wow, what a classic. Dislocated design. 30 Days of Night is good. Yes, yes. I like it quite a lot. I don't think it's, to me, that type of film is not horror because it's not scary. But I see it more like, I don't know what is the proper term or genre for me, where I could classify more, maybe like action horror. It's more action more than anything. But yeah, I loved it. Super good. Such a nice take on the how is it called, on the vampires. Zeb, I couldn't sleep for quite a while. Yeah, and also Congo. Congo. I don't know. I don't know that film. I don't think so. Sonic. For you, David Lynch movie Mulholland Drive? Really? Wow. That one is an interesting pick. Sonic. Oh, Cannibal Holocaust. Yes. Uh, but is it? But is it called Cannibal Holocaust? I don't think it is called like that. It's the one on the jungle, right? That they, it's like a group of white people get caught by a tribe, or maybe it is called like that. I can't remember. Yeah, I have seen it. Yeah, long time ago. Richard. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dislocated design. Alien. Yes. For me, I think for me, Alien is among some of those. Especially as a kid, I remember that the Alien became one of these prototypical monster for my nightmares for many years. Like the perfect monster, the Alien. To me, another film that really impacted me when I was a kid, and I have seen it recently, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's between, I think it's a mix between horror and psychological thriller, and it's also a classic from the 70s. Let's see if what's the title in English, the original title. I mean, bear in mind that of course I come from Spain, and for those of you that are not from Spain, in Spain they normally just rename the titles in very creative ways. Uh, for example, the film Die Hard, with Bruce Willis. Uh, in Spanish, the translation to English would be Crystal Jungle, right? So just you get an idea of how crazy it is. So, what is the name, the title of this film? The invasion of the. Okay, let me just Google this very quickly. Yes, the invasion of the body snatchers. Yes, that film. It I mean, I got so many nightmares when I was a kid. You would not believe it. But I have seen it as an adult many times, and it is absolutely brilliant. I mean, as a piece of cinematography, as a thriller and horror, it is done so well. Have you seen it? Do you know? It's from the 70s, so it's kind of old now. Dislocated design, yeah. Mulholland Drive is superb and very odd, as many of his stuff. Lucius, oh yes, The Witch, another one that I absolutely loved. So good. I I want to see the other film that he has done. The same director of The Witch that he did with this Lighthouse. I haven't seen it. I have heard awesome things about the film, but I haven't seen it. But after having done The Witch, yeah, The Witch. So yeah, great. Sonic. I find old movies more nuanced and so grounded and organic. Yeah, I totally agree. I think I totally agree. Nowadays, in general, especially Hollywood films, they are so fast paced, and there is no room for nuance and elaborating things with a little bit more time. Um, yeah, so it's rare to see films a little bit more low paced and nuanced. Yeah. Vitor Santos, que demora. Yes, at this pace, it's gonna take a while to finish this illustration. I know, so that's why I'm relying on working outside the stream to push the illustrations, because yeah, if not, it's gonna take too long. But I mean, yeah, I mean, also part of the fun is talking with each other, right? So dislocated design and Cantabrian. Yeah, wow. How did you got the invasion of the body snatchers? Yes. I mean, that film is so good. Richard, hard to say which is my favorite horror movie. I like, for example, The City of the Living Dead. Also, both versions of Nosferatu are more than great. Oh yes, of course. Yeah. Uh, Nosferatu. I mean the original one is awesome. I mean all these how do you say in English? Muted films. Um, they are so great. I mean, I think it's as artists, people that are I want to aspire to be artists have to see those films because the creativity on the use of lighting and in a narrative way is just amazing. Akash, have you watched Zack Snyder Justice League? I'm afraid yes. I think I think that says it all from my part, right? I did, yeah. I think it was very bad. My opinion, Sonic. You know, how about Children of the Corn? I haven't seen that one, but the Pet Cemetery, the original one, yes, I love that film. I love it. And The Shining, of course. I'm a huge fan of Stanley Kubrick. Yeah. Dislocated design. What I love about Lynch is he prefers if individuals make their own conclusions. Dream logic. Yes. Yeah, that is one. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, that Trump. Sonic. Yeah, I watch Hitchcock movie Vertigo and still holds up. So meticulously crafted, almost like sculpting. They don't make movies like that. Yes, I agree. Um, yeah, it is. Nowadays, things are so fast paced. It's. I mean, of course, we are grossly generalizing. They are fantastic films, still being made, but that's kind of the tendency. And yeah, Hitchcock, of course, he's one of the greatest as well. Um, yeah, Sonny has good taste. I agree. Yes, he's mentioning very good films. Richard, you're right about silent movies. Yeah, I don't know if they are how it how do you call them? Is there here any native English speaking person? Is it silent or muted films? Uh, you can always play to them music of your liking and make it even more scarier. Yeah. Yeah, dislocated design, of course. Twin Peaks, what a classic. Uh, I haven't seen the new one. I keep painting on the wrong layers. This is so annoying. Sonic. Unpopular opinion. Netflix sucks. It's like the McDonald's of movies. The quality of the originals are bad. Well, I don't know if it's unpopular opinion or not. It's the only subscription type of thing that I'm subscribed to, so I cannot compare. Uh, so yeah, I don't really know if it sucks or not, but definitely there's a lot of bad stuff, for sure. But there are also good things. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe others have more quantity of quality. I don't know. Lucius, okay, silent films. All right. So silent films it is. Dislocated design. I like the blood red haze and the green secondary lighting in your barbarian piece. Thank you. Thank you. I think it can make an interesting image. And of course, being complementary colors, they work very well together. Plain contrast. But yeah, have you? I mean, going back to this thing that I was talking about my some of these films that affected me greatly, horror films. This one of the invasion of the body snatchers. Oh my goodness! So good. Have you guys seen it? And this one from the 70s is not the original one. There is another one from the 50s, which is the original one. And funny enough, I haven't seen that film. So let me tell you the story. So I was very little, like maybe 5 years old, something like that. And it was a Saturday or something like that, and I was alone at home with my mother, and my mother was sick. So she was laying on bed, and I was alone on the living room watching the TV. And of course, by those times, there was only 2 channels on the TV, so that you couldn't choose things. So you just watch what you got. And there was this film from the 50s, black and white. No, sorry, no, I'm mixing things. No. It's not. There is an original one of the Body Snatchers from the 50s as well, but I'm completely mixing things. That one I have seen and is good. even though not as good as the 70s one with Donald Sutherland. But the one that I'm talking now, it's the original. You have all seen The Thing, right? A fantastic film, but it's not original. There is an original one from the 50s, and this is the one that I don't know why I mixed things. And this is the one that I haven't managed to watch since this time when I was maybe 5 years old or something. I remember that I got so scared, and just put things in context. I mean, it's a film from the 50s, so by nowadays standards, it cannot be too scary. But of course, I was very little. I got so freaking scared that, of course, also by that time there was no, I don't know what it's called in English, like uh, wireless telecommand or something, where so you had to just get up and push the button on the TV to change channel or to turn off the TV. So I got so scared that I couldn't dare to approach the TV to turn it off. So I just went to my mother, which was close to the living room, and I had to listen to the scariest screams and music from the film without looking at the film because I was so scared. So I could just hope to the film to finish to be able to turn off the TV. And yeah, I have tried to find that film and watch it because, of course, for the sake of the memories and see why I got so scared. But yeah, I still haven't had the opportunity. Sonic. Netflix originals are just bad. When my friends want me watch new originals, and when I checked it, it's bad. Yeah, not always. I mean, it depends. Uh, at the same time, it's difficult nowadays to know which one are really originals and not, because now they said everything is original when they are not. I mean, Netflix original. So yeah. But I mean, at the same time, it makes sense. I mean, they need to, of course, they get the rights to play certain films that already exist. But if they want to create new things, it is not easy to I mean, it's not easy to make good films. So, for one good film, you're gonna get 5 that are bad or mediocre. It's just how it is. And since they are producing those, then they have no choice than to show them. So yeah, I mean, overall, I'm quite happy with Netflix. But yeah, not everything is good, for sure. Um, hey, Bilbo. Let's see. Dislocated Design. I admit I haven't seen it. I read Midnight Cuckoos by John Wyndham, which has a similar premise, I think. To what are you referring to exactly? Dislocated Design. I lost it there. Akash, can you talk a little bit about how much contrast is good in painting in terms of values? Right. So hey Bilbo. Hey. He just woke up. Let's say hello Bilbo. Hola Bilbo. ¿Lavas? Yeah. High five. There you go. All right. So a little bit of art related question. So the eye is drawn to contrast. So of course, the higher contrast you have, in general terms, the more appealing to the eye it is gonna be. But that being said, if everything has high contrast, you might lose a lot of nuance on the values. So normally, the best thing to do, and once again I'm generalizing a lot, is to have a wide variety of values and only use the high contrast for the focal point, for those areas of the painting that are more important and you want to guide the eyes of the audience towards that point. But of course I'm generalizing. So yeah, contrast is good with values, but if you make everything high contrast, then it kind of loses its purpose, so to speak. For example, here, if we make everything in black and white, let's see. So overall is a very low key in values, this picture. But I'm using the higher level of contrast on the whole picture is with the character. Why? Because it's directs the view towards him. It makes it easier to read than any other part of the painting. And this is just merely looking at the values. Then I underline even more this concept of contrast by not only using values, because I could go even to higher contrast, right? Than this. This is still quite, if you see here on the color wheel, still pretty low value. I could go much higher, lighter, to make a bigger contrast. The problem with that is that since I want to use the color as well as contrast, I need to go a little bit more in the middle, in the value levels, in order to increase also the level of contrast with the colors. Does it make sense what I'm saying? I just explained it very poorly. Basically, if you go with only values, if you are playing only with that, you can go much lighter with a darker, right? But once you start to apply colors, when you want to apply higher level of contrast with the colors, you need to go into, you see here on the triangle color wheel thing here, the higher saturation of color is always going to be correspondent to the middle on the grayscale, and that's how you can achieve higher contrast with colors. So it's this type of things that you need to kind of find a middle ground, and in this case is because I want a very intense saturated red. If it wouldn't be the case, then I would use a higher or lighter value on him to increase the contrast value wise. I hope that it makes sense. Sorry, I just explained it very poorly, but I'm tired. Dislocated design. All right. The Midwich cuckoos. Sonic. Another unpopular opinion. I don't really like Jon Snow. Well, and once again, I actually don't know if that is unpopular or not. We mentioned last week Game of Thrones. Richard here on the, I don't know if you are still here on the stream, Richard, but Richard said that he doesn't care about Game of Thrones. And I'm a big fan of the books, but I haven't seen the TV series as soon as they just went farther than the books on the story. So I have a limited opinion on Jon Snow as far as he's mentioned on the book. So yeah, I don't have the full picture. But do I like him or dislike him? Neither of both. I think he's one of the boring characters in my opinion. At least once again, as it is on the books. Cantabrian. I had the same experience with a film called Alligator when I was about 5. Yeah. Sonic. Did you like Vicky Cristina Barcelona? Yes, I did. I actually enjoyed it quite a lot. I don't know if it was because I can't remember the year it came, but I had already moved to Sweden from Spain. So I kind of, hey Bilbo, I got kind of a little bit good memories back from Spain. So maybe it was a little bit of that, missing my home country. I don't know, but yeah, I liked it. I have seen it once when it was on the films, on the cinema. Hey, Bilbo. Yeah, he's looking at me very questioning what is going on. Okay, there you go. Boop, boop. Okay, I don't have technician anymore for the stream. But yeah, I liked it. uh, Dislocated design. All right. I don't think I have. I know Midwich Cuckoos. Akash, thank you, thank you. Yeah, he's smart and cute, indeed. Kind of naughty. He's like a pirate. Sonic. That's a question for dislocated design. Silent Hill. I actually enjoyed the film, even though it's kind of meh, but I enjoyed it. Luis, good night. Buenas noches. Thanks for joining, and have a good night. And Richard, good. Good to see that you are still here and that you still don't care about Game of Thrones. uh, but yeah, about these streaming platforms, it's such a shame that there are so many now, and with some interesting series in different ones, and yeah, I I'm not gonna subscribe for one of these streaming channels just to get to watch one single series. But the one that got me at the attention is this new adaptation of the Foundation from Isaac Asimov. It's like a series of books that I really, really like. And at least what I have seen on the trailers, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but what I have seen on the trailers look very promising. I really dig the general art direction and designs. Sonic. Everybody loves Jon Snow. It's not unpopular opinion. I just don't relate to him. All right, yeah. It's yeah, I don't know. To me, he's a little bit more boring character. I don't know. On the other hand, I really liked the girl. Can't remember her name. The one that always said like, "You know nothing, just Jon Snow." On the TV adaptation, she's a little bit more represented a little bit more simplistic. But on the books, I really like that character, for instance. Dislocated design. I think you Silent Hill. I think is. I would definitely go more very very personal opinion, but I would definitely go with the Body Snatchers before that to Silent Hill. Silent Hill was like very Hollywood kind of blockbuster type of film. Body Snatchers is more nuanced. It's well, in my opinion, I think it's brilliant. Is yeah, and it has more than thriller than horror, even though it's yeah has horror as well. But Sonic, all right. I since I haven't followed um the TV series seasons after they surpassed the story on the books. I don't know what happens to him, and I don't want to know. Uh, because yeah, I don't want to watch those. I don't want to know anything about them until I read them on the books. If uh, Mr. Martin decide to finish the books. It's been like already 7 years since he published the last book or something like that. So yeah. Richard, Miguel, how about Spanish movies like Faculty or Rec? Do you like them? Faculty, I don't think I know that film, but Rec, yes, I liked it. Yeah, I really liked it. It's of course, for example, there is this kind of things that it's more cultural barriers. Um, in many cases, for instance, to thrillers or that comes, let's say, from especially from United States films, like more Hollywood films. In some cases, I feel that it's very difficult for me to relate because it represents and portrayed a world that is very different from mine. So it feels very fake in some way. While films that come from other countries, from Europe, from Asia, any other places, I feel they are more genuine, even though I might not share the same cultural background or heritage, but still I get a sense of more genuinity. I don't know how really to describe it. I feel sometimes that Hollywood films lack of genuine feeling. I don't know. It's like everything. It's very much encasing some formulas, you know, and it makes it. For example, the way dialogues are done. In very rare occasions, I see films from Hollywood where people or the actors actually talk like real people. It's like a way of talking that is not that real. I don't know. Do you get what I mean? Or yeah. So what I was going with all of this is that, for instance, these horror films that come from other countries, or in this case, this Rec, the Spanish one, since it's supposed to happen in, I think it's in Barcelona, right? Or and the people and the way it's, well, it's from my home country, from Spain. Everything makes it more relatable, so it makes it more scary in that way, because I can put myself easily in that setting. Richard, pardon me, the movie is not called Faculty, is Thesis. Ah, yes, of course. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I really like it. Yeah, I haven't seen it since. So yeah, uh, almost. My goodness. Uh, yeah, almost 25 years. So yeah, yeah, great film. For its time. But yeah, man. Once again, Richard, you keep surprising me uh, with things that you feel are very well informed and knowledgeable in many things. At least from all the things that we've been talking so far through the streams. Because not so many. I mean, for example, that film, Reich, I think became more commercial overall, but Thesis, for somebody that is not from Spain, that's a pretty obscure film to know about. So yeah, I'm very surprised. Sonic, what about your favorite Fellini movie? Oh wow. So we are getting very hardcore into film. What's the word in English? I cannot find a word in English. Well, anyway, into classic film cinematography. Is it? I'm not. I can't remember right now if it's from Fellini, but huh. I don't think it is. Well, now I'm probably mixing things, and probably it's not Fellini, but the film that I'm thinking about is The Bicycle. I think it's called the bicycle, or the, well, once again we go into the issue of titles in Spanish, which can be very different from the original titles, and in this case, of course, it would be in Italian. So, but yeah, the bicycle, or the no the this, well, somebody that steal bicycles, the stealer of bicycles. I don't know what would be the title in English, and I'm not sure if that is from Fellini either. So yeah, so sorry. I guess I fail in Italian cinematography there. Cantabrian, okay, man. Take care. Thanks for joining in. Have a good one, and see you hopefully next week. Take care. Bye bye. Dislocated design. Yeah, I like my thrillers. The Ninth Gate. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Okay, dislocated design. Bye bye as well. Sonic, yes. I totally agree. I mean, I have absolutely nothing against blockbusters. There's absolutely masterpieces that are more mainstream, and plenty of indie films that are completely garbage as well. So I don't think indie equates to masterpiece and blockbuster to garbage. But yeah. Richard, the Brave. I don't think I have seen it either. Well, it's getting late, guys. So I think I'm gonna leave it here. I still have lots of work to do tomorrow for the prepare everything for the renovation. And Bilbo is looking at me with accusatory eyes and asking me to take him out. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it here. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Really enjoy talking to you guys. This time talking about mostly about films, which is one of my passions. Yeah, I actually studied filmmaking back in my time when I was young. Yeah, so it's yeah, it's been great. It's, yeah, I haven't been able to move much farther the illustration, even though we have done some few step forward. I think I like more this framing for the illustration instead of as we had it before. I think now the creature, the boss or whatever, takes a little bit more prominence as it is on the composition. So I think it's better. And yeah, so if I survived this first week of renovation. Hopefully, we will meet next week. If everything goes as expected, everything, yeah, we should be. I should be streaming again same time next Saturday. And yeah, guys, thanks a lot for all the suggestions for films. Remember, once again, Terrified, fantastic. In my opinion, I'm very curious to hear your opinion because I think that it might be not for the taste of everybody, but yeah, I'm very curious to hear your opinion if you have seen it. I will put at some point during the week. I have to remember about that, but to put the direction for the Discord server so everybody can join and start posting your work, and we can continue talking to each other in there. And yeah, have a good one. Stay safe and healthy during the week. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And once again, thanks for joining. It's been a pleasure, and see you next week. Bye bye. And Bill will say bye bye as well.